There was a recent article in the Wall Street Journal about how the rush to implement generative AI technology has caused companies to take a pause and think about data. Data truly is the fuel for the AI engine. With the right data, with good data, there is a higher likelihood of having better, more accurate outcomes through your AI technology, through your AI product or solution. So coming back to this concept of data, the article highlights certain things that companies have started to think about. One being data management. And there are so many things about data management we can talk about, but just to level set, the practice of data management is really thinking about and centers around how we acquire or collect, how we store, how we manage, how we organize, how we retain / delete / dispose of data in our organizations. So when we think about data management, I wanted to highlight 3 key things that we have learned in working with our clients that make a big impact. Number 1, first and foremost, is making sure that your data is not in silos. A lot of companies have great data, but it's spread and scattered across the organization, sometimes even outside the organization. How do you make sure that that data is usable and accurate and accessible in a privacy-compliant manner? To do so, the first thing we have to do is break those data silos and make sure that the data that you want to use, that you should use, that you're going to use is in a single, protected, secure repository. Some people call it data lake. Some people just call it a digital repository, whatever you want to call it. And whatever form that single repository takes, having a single source of truth, a unified source of truth for your data is important. So number 1, making sure that your data is not in silos. Number 2, and I will always back this up, is making sure your data quality is par excellence. Data quality is imperative to making sure that your AI products and solutions have good data that they can use. When we think about data quality, we're thinking about things like, is our data accurate? Is it timely or is it outdated? Is it complete? Is it consistent? Is it fit for use? Is it unique? Data quality has certain pillars that need to be addressed. But ultimately, the question that we're asking here is this data fit for our business users to make use of in such a way that we can actually improve their decision-making? And lastly, I'll call out data governance. Data governance is making sure that you have those internal policies, those standards in place to make sure that you're collecting, storing, managing, using, disposing data is compliant with regulations. That you give the right people access to the right information at the right time without compromising the individual's right to privacy. Ultimately, it is all about making sure that the right that an individual has, whether it's your consumer or your employee, is protected, it is secure, and that you can use, as an organization, the data that you have or the data that you're bringing in or planning to bring in the most effective, the most efficient, the most privacy-compliant manner possible. So the 3 things that we have talked about today are data silos, breaking those down, data quality, making sure that it is excellent, and data governance, having that framework in place, having those processes in place to make sure that data is treated correctly and in the right fashion so that you are compliant not only with regulations, but also thinking about the consumers of the information, which is your end user or your business user. And I'll leave you with this thought. These are components that we have talked about, but overall, there should be a holistic approach to data in the organization. That's usually called data strategy. How do you think about data? What is your approach to data as a company? How do you make sure that you are making sense of the data that you have in the organization in a way that is beneficial, not only to the business user, but also to your consumer, to your partners, to your community, and to the ecosystem as a whole? Have you thought about the holistic approach to data? That, to me, is the fundamental number one thing that companies should think about, even before they get into tactical pieces of data management.